Well, sorry about the mess of my office. I've been wanting to do this review for a while, and just a quick review over these four different Saddleback leather bags. All of these are genuine bags that I've purchased over the past decade or so, and I'm getting ready to get rid of two of them. I bought two, and then my daughter took one, and then she took the other one, and then one of them got relegated to not being used. Anyway, so they've just been kind of passed around and been all over the place. But I thought it might be helpful to just kind of go through some of the measurements to see all four of them, because I know before I bought the first one, I was really concerned, what would I like, what would I not like. And so what we have here, we've got the original Briefcase, front flap Briefcase, I think is what this one was called. It's an extra large size in coffee. I bought this one a decade ago, and it's been to Vietnam, it's been to some different places with me. It has held up fabulously. I mean, I've shoved everything in this. I'll do some measurements here in just a few moments. I bought that one first, and then I decided sometimes I just didn't need all that space in it. And so I bought this thin Briefcase, and I used it for just a little while. Really liked it, and this is the first one that my daughter swiped, and she used it for high school and a little bit of college. And I used that one for a couple of years, and then they came out with this as the flight bag just last year or so, and I used this for about a week, and then it vanished, and this one showed back up. And so my daughter had taken this one, and I really like this bag a lot. The size, after holding it up to the barrister's bag, it just really looks small in comparison. But really, for what you can get in this thing, this is a great bag. And so let me do some measurements, and I'll just kind of work my way down the line as far as maybe in the order that I purchased them, or we'll just kind of see how this goes. So let me grab this old stool, and these are all still have some stuff in them. So let me see if that's within our frame. Yeah, I think you can see that. So like I said, this is the extra large in coffee front flap Briefcase, and so it is about 18 inches. When you fully expand it, it's a little, I think it's 17 3/4, but the front piece is 18 inches, and it is 13 1/8 in depth. And I'll show you the inside, even though it's got a bunch of stuff in it. So one of the things that I found this was very useful for, I went ahead and bought this sleeve, Saddleback sleeve, and so you could put your laptop in this. And let me grab my laptop. This is a MacBook Pro 15-inch. And of course, you can just fit it in there without it. But I like the extra protection. And so you can slide it right down in there. You can put numerous books in here with plenty of room. I don't know what I had in that. That's a pretty good size book. It fits right in there. This is one for a class I'm teaching at a local college, study Bible. It's got some heft. I usually put them back to back in there. I've got my laptop. I can fit my chargers in here as well. You can see there's plenty of space, full of change right now. But I could put my the brick in there, and I can put my cables in there. I still have plenty of room for other books. I've got a piece of marble here that I'm probably going to make a mess. Sometimes I got this piece of marble on a trip, and I'll take this sometimes to class. It was there's a story behind it, but I can put this down in there as well, and it fits. It's a couple of inches thick, but it's heavy. And the awesome thing about this bag is, once you buckle it up, even with that much weight in it, it doesn't sag, like a lot of bags will. You can put, I've had water bottles in there, but it just holds its shape really nicely. It's got this double padded shoulder strap to distribute the weight when you're wearing it. And I know you can unhook these different straps and do the backpack and all that kind of stuff. I never did that ever. I just kind of loaded it down with everything imaginable, and it never failed to get the job done. Great backpack. Let me do one more measurement on this. So as wide as it'll go with those books, that's about 4 inches. And that's about 4 inches. So you can see you can fit a lot of stuff in this bag, definitely. So let me yank this stuff out, and I will use the same stuff for comparison. So let me just show you one more time inside. No pockets, pigskin I think was what this was described as. Big pocket in the front, 2 big pockets in the front, I mean. Inside there's a little sleeve on each side. It's more for support, but you can actually put some pins or something in there. It's a great bag. Really does the job. In the back side, every once in a while I would stick the mail or something in there if I was just going. You can put an envelope or whatever in there. But it's closed at the bottom, so that's an extra sleeve. So that is the extra large front flat briefcase in coffee. You can see it's got some wear on it, but still just holding up extremely well. Side pockets on both of those. So that's the first one. The second one is the thin front flap briefcase. It will not stand up. It's a little softer, just not as much of a base, but it is right at 17, probably 16 inches and 3/4, maybe 7/8. As far as the width, height, you know, you're looking at 10 1/4, give or take on the height. These are pretty thin pockets. Let me shove this Ike biography in there and just see how that fits. That's a little too wide. I think that's just barely too wide for that bottom. I mean, it's really close. That book is 2 3/4 inches in width, and so that's just barely too wide for that bottom. But you know, you're not gonna cram a bunch of books in this one. This is more, you know, for your smaller loads. But the nice thing about this is, once again, I can put this MacBook in there. There's still room. There's actually a little pocket right in there that I can throw the brick in. You can put it in there with your cables or whatever. You can put your moleskin. I got this over here. This, you know, you can put your journal in there. I could put, you know, let's see. This Bible will fit nicely in there, and it's not going to crease and mess up your Bible if that's what you're trying to put in there. I've got a 12.9 inch, I think that's what this one is, iPad Pro, and that fits in there nicely as well. And so, you know, you've got all kinds of options with this thin briefcase. Once again, same thing, you know, these buckles, man, they're just not going anywhere. Once you buckle this thing down, it's a great briefcase. This one also has all the hardware on it as it can be expected. Back pocket. It's just a great briefcase. This one hasn't held up. You know, the bottom kind of, not sags is probably the right word, I don't know. But my daughter used this one extensively, and she loaded it and used it a lot. And so it's got a little bit more wear. But it's just a good kind of middle of the line briefcase if that's the size that you need. I think I covered all the dimensions on that one. Let me pull the laptop out. Toss that one down there. Next is this smaller flight bag. Like I said, this is probably my favorite one. Very little wear on this one at all. You can see it opens up nicely. The thing that I love, and the reason I went to they call this one the barrister's bag, I think the bigger one down here. You know, sometimes when I was on an airplane or traveling with that big flap, it just kind of got in the way. And the way that these open, it's so much nicer. You know, if I was on an airplane, I could set it at my feet and I can open it up, grab what I wanted, close it, and shove it under the seat in front of me, or put it in the bin up top. I do not remember if this fits in there, how well it does. Well, it does. Yep, the 15-inch. That's a 2017 MacBook Pro with the touch bar thing, 15 point whatever inch screen. It fits in there nicely. You can kind of see that. But, you know, once again, you don't have a ton of room. I can probably put that moleskin in there. Just hit the bottom. The MacBook Pro, the iPad sitting up portrait mode, that's too tall. It's just not going to close. And so you would want to put that down on its side. It fit just fine. This thin Bible will fit in there nicely. You know, this really makes a great, I might have to take this back for my kid. I just really like this one. But it's a great size. You can fit your chargers and everything in the front pouches. I used this on a trip recently. I was looking for these sunflower seeds. There they are, some receipts. But plenty of room for your chargers. Put your cell phone. You know, just lots of space. I did not measure this one, and so the outside diameter of that is 15 5/8. Let me open it up and measure it that way. So this MacBook Pro is 14 inches, but so you can see that is 15 and a half is what that measures. And then the opening is approximately 5 inches, maybe 4 7/8, somewhere in that time frame. With those dimensions. My quick review is getting a bit longer, but I just wanted to show. Let me get everything out of here, and I will show you the inside. So you can see on the inside of this, it just has that one pouch. The one sleeve. You can slide your MacBook Pro in there, I guess, if you don't have the sleeve. Basic flight bag. But this thing just does everything that you could ever want. It's got a pouch in the back here that has airline gate pass in it. Just a good bag. You will not be disappointed with this one at all. I think that's all for that one. These pouches expand about 1.25 inches, give or take, maybe a little bit more than that. You can fit a sleeve of golf balls in there if you wanted. Just a nice bag. Okay. Let me just try one of these, this Ike book, and see how it fits in there. Ike the Soldier. Yep, that one fits just fine. I could not get both of these in there, I don't believe. Let me try that in this big study Bible. Oh yeah, so you can fit both of those in there. Closes just fine. Yeah, that would work if for some reason you wanted to carry Ike the Soldier in the Cultural Background Study Bible. And so that's the flight bag. Great bag. Like I said, this thing is, I think we've had this maybe not quite a year, I don't know, but it shows no wear hardly at all. No scuffs. It has held up very nicely. No real scuffs. And like I said, she's getting that one back tomorrow for the start of her semester. And then the last one here, this is the barrister's bag, is what this one is labeled. This is a big bag. I'm torn. I love the fact that I can just cram everything in this bag. It holds a ton. So I've got my laptop, got a Hebrew Bible, got Ike the Soldier, syllabus from a class. Let me slide that back in there. Study Bible will go right in there. I'll put this iPad Pro in there. Because you always need golf balls when you're going to school. But the golf balls, those are probably a little bit too wide for that. Let me grab this brick here. So this is the brick to the MacBook Pro without the cables and stuff attached, and it is just the right diameter to drop right in there. So that's a perfect fit for that. Or I could put external hard drives fit in there nicely. You could probably fit 2 of these in there. Yep, you could do side by side. Turn them that way, long ways down, and put 2 of these lacy external hard drives. Yep, they fit right in there nicely. That thing it's loaded down. I have this back sleeve, the back sleeve here. There are my Apple Pencil fell off, or whatever that thing's called. You've got some different pockets in here as well. Let me remove some of these things. Well, let me show you it. Well, let me do my measurements. I don't think I measured it yet. 17 1/4. The mouth opens to about 10 1/2, but that's not 10 1/2 usable inches, because it opens wider than the actual dimensions of the bag. But even with all that stuff in there, that iPad Pro is sticking up just a little bit, and I can sort of feel it right there. I probably would not carry that. One good hit on the top and you're going to damage your iPad. You turn it sideways and it lays down in there kind of nicely. And then it shuts up just fine, latches up. And this is the same way that big mammoth briefcase is. Even when it's loaded, the bottom on these things is solid, and it holds up to the weight of that pretty good. It has the back flap as well, if you wanted to use that for files or whatever that you need to have quick access to. But like I said, that's a great briefcase. Let me put these 2 side by side and kind of see the flight bag on the left, Barrister's bag here on the right. You can just really see the dimensions there of those. And then let me take these books back out. And I'll show you the inside real quick. All right, there may be some stuff that falls out, I'm not sure. But so you've got, on one side, you've got the side pouch where you can put files or papers or whatever in there. You can put your laptop in there if it'll fit. You've got 3 pouches. Like I'll put pins in one. Usually I clip my pins to something so they don't just slide around and fall out. And then you've got one more pouch on this side. But this is all a little bit nicer finished leather on the inside of this Barrister's bag. Like I said, it opens up nice and wide. Everything just fits in there remarkably well. Just overall, just a good bag for what you're intending to use it for. But like I said, this thing is huge. It takes up a considerable more amount of space. I carried this on one flight not too long ago, and it would fit in the seat in front of me. I'm 6'3", and so I need a little bit more leg room. And so that was kind of cramped. I ended up putting it in the overhead so I could have a little bit of leg room, but still so much easier to open and to access and to get the things out. So let me just show these one more time, kind of side by side. Barrister bag, flight bag, and then I'll just hold these up. Let me zip this, or let me buckle this one real quick. Thin briefcase, and let me buckle this one up, and then I'll hold them up. So you've got the thin briefcase and the big one here. Let me just. So big briefcase, smaller briefcase. So those three bags, you've pretty much got everything covered. Like I said, I'm going to be getting rid of these two. I have not used this this front large briefcase, front flap large briefcase, whatever it's called, in a long time. I hate to get rid of it, but it's a lot of money just sitting there collecting dust, and so somebody else can enjoy it for the next 100 years or 99 years or whatever. Like I said, I've had this one since 2010, 2009 or so, and it has served me well, but it's not getting used. And then same way with this smaller briefcase, it's going to be finding a new home as well. And then these two will remain, barrister's bag or whatever, and the flight bag. Two great bags. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you have benefited from it. If you had questions and wanted to see all of these bags in close proximity to one another, let me set them all back up here front. There they are.